So I've gone ahead and put on some Titebond glue. I've loosened everything up again, removed the bolt, and secured this leg cover against the leg with using the Titebond glue and these clamps. Unfortunately, when I did that, the redwood cracked. So we'll have to deal with that later. But right now I want that to have a really tight bond between the leg cover and the leg. So that's what we're working on. I now have both the east and the west sides of the lower beam, the 4x4, securely bolted down, and I have used 8X polyurethane Loctite adhesive on both sides underneath the beam to really hold it into place and give the bolt some extra support. On both sides, both the west and here on the east, I have got them glued in. I've got 3 of the 4 sides screwed in. You can see the Titebond glue that I used. It's the number 2 that's coming out the sides. Actually, on this side, but not on the west side, but on the east side, I actually also used the polyurethane 3X. Put that on the edges right here of the 4x4, the 4x4 joist, in between the end of the joist and the leg. I did it on both sides. This side right here is ready to be glued, is ready to be screwed in. It's all got the glue in, the Loctite polyurethane adhesive on, and it's been clamped down with several clamps as best I can. And now I'm ready to screw these in, countersinking the screws here. So I've got it all glued together. I did have a little bit of a problem with this particular leg cover on this side, on this northeast corner. The wood was already split when I started, when I put it on. I decided to go ahead and use it. So I put, I've got glue all the way up and down it. That should stabilize it. And then when I was putting in one of the screws, I didn't have the countersink hole deep enough, or wide enough rather, and I split the wood again. I put some glue back in there. I made the hole wider and put some glue in there and got it in good and deep. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my air pressure, my pneumatic staple gun, and put in these 2-inch brads in there from the side, and that should prevent it from coming apart, give it extra stability. Okay, I've got the 2-inch brads installed in there on this widthwise where it was splitting. Now, this right here is a 50-inch clamp that I was using to hold these legs as tight as possible together. So the idea being to get the adhesive that's at the edge of the cover, to get that adhesive to adhere between the 4x4 lower joist and the leg, lower edge of the lower portion of the leg. Yesterday we secured the lower beam with the polyurethane adhesive and glued these pieces, bottom leg covers in, and this shows this all completed. We also fixed this board up here, the center beam here. We've got it temporarily on each end screwed down, and then we've got it permanently fixed in place on the north side for each one of these boards, and also the center board is fixed in. These aren't, so we can remove these and do the final adjustments here. We also need to come in, remove these temporary screws that are over here on the side. We'll put the adhesive in so it has a good tight permanent bond to it. And now the next step is to place 4x4 beams underneath here. Right now these are just temporary braces that are under here. You can see here how on each one of the boards these upper joists are secured in with the lower beam, with the upper beam. I've got 4 screws, one on each side. In the center we'll put a bolt through. That's these 6-inch long, 5/16 inch thick galvanized leg bolts will go down through here into the 4x4, and we'll have another one coming in from the bottom. So that'll be the next step. For the upper joists, I use these Deckmate 3.5 inch long with the star-shaped insert for the head. I use these to come in here, so that makes a good secure bond, plus with the Loctite adhesive in there. That's I believe the 510 PL 510 adhesive, heavy duty. For the center boards, I've just used the same type right here, but they're only 2.5 inches thick, so they don't go all the way through. For the 4x4s, I'm using these repurposed 4x4 redwood posts that were used on the previous owner's deck, and they are covered with quite a bit of stain, heavily pigmented stain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just running them through the saw right here, just kind of ripping off a slight edge of it, so that it shows good clean redwood all the way around, rather than having to sand them.